Judy.
So glad to see you today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming over to show us how to do razor clams. I ask you to show us because your razor clams are highly acclaimed, and I know you've been making them for many, many years. And people line up to eat your razor clams. Okay, shall we begin?
We shall begin. And we begin by going to the Washington coast, and we use a device like this. It's called a clam gun. And this is how we dig them. It's much easier than a shovel, a lot less messy. So that's the first step. The second step is that, of course, we have to bring them home. And they are in a shell that looks like this. So we have to open them up and clean them. And after we do that, we pack them in water that we've added a little bit of ice to. Put them on a baking sheet, put them into the freezer, and when they're frozen, you can just stack them up in your freezer like that. So then to get ready to cook them, you take them out of the freezer, and I always thaw mine in cold water, just in the sink. And it takes just a few minutes, they thaw quickly. And then I put them in a colander like this and let the water drain out. And then I put them between layers of paper towels to dry them, because you don't want a lot of moisture. It'll just create a mess in the deep frying process. So I dry them between paper towels. After I've done that, some of them need to be tenderized, and that would be the siphon part of the clam. Let me get the shell back here again. This is the part that kind of sticks up here. That's that's the siphon, and that's the tough part. And so I generally tenderize them using a device similar to this, something like that. Now the rest of the body and the digger, they do not need to be tenderized at all, only the siphon part, and I do those prior to cooking them. So for the cooking process, and I don't know how I came up with this idea. It was not my mother's way of doing it. She used to fix razor clams, and I think she just put them in egg and cracker crumbs. But I came up with this idea, and like I said, I really don't know why. But I start out with flour, and I really don't measure anything. I just kind of keep adding to it as I go along. So I have flour, and then I have an egg beater type product, which is egg whites, and that's the second bowl here, and then panko. And over here you see my big jug of panko. We do a lot of frying here. So I put salt and pepper into the flour mixture, into the egg mixture, not into the panko. A little bit of salt, mix it up, trying to do each layer a little bit. Also with the clams, these are good, but they were just not evenly spread out. I also do a little bit of salt with them too, just to kind of get it started, doing a little bit of each layer. So, and you could be wearing gloves. That would be what I would do if I had a company coming, but for just my family, I scrub my hands and just and go with that. I'm not very good with tongs, so I've given up on that. I just simply can't do that. So I put them first into flour, like so. Shake the flour off, so you don't have a lot there. And then into this egg beater mixture, and then onto the panko. And I just do it like that. And then I add a little more panko to the top, so my fingers don't get real messy. Turn them over, pat them down like that, and that's kind of what they look like. And I put them there and here. I just keep stacking them up in a dish like this. I put layers of parchment paper, wax paper between them. I put a little surface layer of the panko just in case there's some extra moisture, and then I line them up. Once I get this pan, or one layer full, back to the salt and pepper, a little more salt and pepper, because I don't, as I said, I don't do the panko layer. A little salt, pat it down like that, put another layer of parchment paper, and then just keep going. For the frying, I like to use a deep fat fryer because it's consistent. I tried frying them as I would call pan frying, just in a frying pan, and so many of the pieces of panko would fall off and it would start burning, and then it would stick to the clams that I was frying, and I didn't like that. Additionally, since they weren't suspended in oil, they weren't kind of crispy all around. This seemed to make them crispy all around, so I went to a deep fat fryer. Or you could just use a kettle on your stove with oil and have a thermometer. But of course this makes it really nice. I have something like this little tool. So I put a few in. Oh, by the way, the temperature is between 350 and 375. And I cook them for only a minute. They just don't need any more than that. Overcooking them will make them tough, and you don't want to have these little babies tough. So then, into the fryer they go, just like that. And I kind of make sure that they're suspended, like that. Oh, good job, Judy, you've got a timer.
I can give you a timer.
And you can hear the crackling. Oh, Judy, we need a paper towel. There you go. Thank you.
And do you need tongs?
No, we have the basket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have the best device here. I'm declaring these done.
Okay.
See how they look? Can you see? And there you have it. And we serve them with tartar sauce.
And Linda, I'm back in the picture here. I brought out the jar of tartar sauce that we made the other day. Would you please just give the recipe and the method for the tartar sauce?
There's our timer telling us that they're done. At 375, they take under a minute, and that's really a good time. The tartar sauce, I just make my own because I like it better than what I find in the stores. I use about a cup of mayonnaise and about a half a cup of finely chopped onion, about a half a cup of finely chopped dill pickle, about 1/8 of a cup of capers that I've chopped, and then I have the juice of a lemon and some horseradish. And I kind of just, I do creamy hot horseradish, and I put in maybe a teaspoon, but you can always add more. I do everything in the food processor, and it goes together quickly, and it lasts for quite a while in the refrigerator, and I always have some on hand.
I noticed we did no chopping with that. We just
No.
put it all in the food
All in
processor
the-
and it was done.
And it was done. It only took a minute.
Yeah. So Linda, we've ended up with 1 plate to wash and the strainer. All the rest we can wrap up and throw away, except what we're gonna put in the fridge for cooking later.
Right.
Now, what about all this extra oil?
Oh, the oil can be used again. I saw it on TV somewhere, that if you run it through a good strainer, I use an old white washcloth, run it through to get all of the pieces out, and then put it back into a jug similar to that and refrigerate. You don't want to leave it on the shelf. Refrigerate it, and I understand that you can use it as many as 5 times, and then you can recycle it. There's places in the state of Washington and maybe other places that you can recycle old cooking oil. So that's what we do.
Well, so Linda, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I can't believe this is just for me, and that's why we want to share it on YouTube, because I think I read that almost 1 million pounds of razor clams are taken out of the Pacific coast from Alaska down to California every year. So
Well,
we hope our unknown friends will enjoy this, right?
I hope so. With the number of people I see on the beach, I would imagine that those statistics are true.
Okay, thank
Thank you.
you.